fried mushrooms the healthy fucking way, because there is a way to do it that's healthy. So you want to get some ground beef. This is a pound of ground beef. And okay, you're gonna cook this up first, because it's gonna be part of your little mix that you're making together with some bacon. So I already have my mushrooms. I cooked them a little bit because I wanted them soft. I didn't want fresh mushrooms that are hard. So I'm going to take some of this bacon. I'm going to throw it in and let that cook up. I've already cooked it a little bit, so y'all know, in water with the mushrooms so that the mushrooms absorb the flavor of the bacon. That's what this is. This is actually Mexican bacon. It's like thick. No joke. No bacon here is small or skinny and wrinkly and flat. Dude, this is like straight fatback. That's how good this stuff is. And it comes in a big old roll, and they cut it. And for $1.50, I got like a pack. It would have been about the equivalent of about a pack of bacon. All right, so we're gonna let this bacon cook. Now let's talk real fast about fats and carbohydrates. Now you see I got a pound of, this is raw ground beef, and it has a little extra fat in it. Okay, this is ground beef. This is not ground pork. Here I have 30 grams of bacon. And then I have 165 grams of breading, which is partly, I can't even speak English today, garlic. It's partially garlic. And what I have here is beef tallow. So I'm going to take a whole bunch of beef tallow, and I'm going to put it into this and let this liquidize, get down, so we can make some deep fried mushrooms. You're going to use a lot. This is super cheap here in Mexico. All you got to do is go to the butcher and tell me you want beef. It's another word. It's not manteca, but it's a word that means like fatback, but it means for cows. Because there's two kinds. There's manteca, and that's with pork. That's not the one you want to use. You want to use this right here. And you liquefy that shit. In no time, you'll have plenty of fat grease. Fire it up. So now I'm doing that. I'm going to put this away. You don't have too much shit out here you don't need. In order to do this recipe, you got to use 1 cup of milk, 3/4 of a stick of butter. It can't be margarine. Don't use margarine. It's poison. This is 3/4 of a cup. It's got markings on the packaging. It's not hard to do. You're going to heat your butter up for 30 seconds and turn it into a liquid. While you're doing that, take a sip off your coffee that was in the microwave and left in there 30 seconds ago. You can use onion powder, you can use garlic powder, you can use whole garlic. If you use whole garlic, throw it in with your fatback first of all. Your beef tallow. You want that to roll around with that bacon and let it do its work. Now you got all this has been marinated and it's been sitting in the fridge for about an hour. I put olive oil, thyme, a little bit of oregano. I haven't used any seasoning at all. So now I have my butter. And my butter. This calls for 2 eggs. So I got 2 eggs ready to rock. One, 2. 2 eggs. Mix that up with your melted butter. Now this recipe calls for sea salt. So I use Himalayan salt. Just a little bit. A pinch is all you need. It's just to enhance the flavor. You don't need to go crazy with that. Now instead of using flour for this, I'm actually using this was a piece of bread at one time, and they dry it out and they mix it with powdered garlic. So I'm gonna mix that in. So this will be like a mushy mess. Okay. And normally you mix your dry seasoning and your all this other shit together, but I'm not going crazy here. This is not a big deal. So once you've got all that dry ingredient in, you're going to add your milk. It requires a cup, but I want my stuff to be pasty and relatively easy to add it to this mix. So it's going to look like that mess. Once you got it to this consistent like this, you're going to give it a little squeeze, make sure there's no water in it. Of course your hands are washed. Now here's the fun part. You take the ground beef and you're going to put that in with your mix. Take out your thyme sticks and all that bullshit. Take out your bay leaves or whatever. Take that out. You don't need it. And then mix this up together like that. Fold that in. If the consistency changes and it's too dry, then add some milk to it. So what I'm making is the fried portion of the outside of the mushrooms is ground beef with this garlic batter mess. Alright, it's almost there. We just want it to be one big thing of batter. And it looks like it's a little too thick, so I'm going to put some more milk in it. It sounds like my beef tallow is ready to rock. I'm going to add me just a little bit of milk. Here we go. Get your hands in there and get yourself all dirty. It's not going to hurt you. But if you want to get big, this is what you do. Cook for yourself. Mushrooms are ergogenic. Mushrooms do not have calories. They do not stick to you. If anything, they burn calories. So what I'm doing here, the only carbohydrate we have is the mixture that has the powdered garlic. Okay, now this is really heavy. It really feels like kind of like rubber right now. So it's almost ready. Your bacon over here is toasting up real nice. Real good. You're going to keep folding that in like that. You just got to take a little piece of your ground beef, make a little bird's nest, and you're going to take your mushroom and just do like that. Now you can do an extra bonus thing here, and you can take flour, and if you want to, you could do that and roll that around with flour. But you want that to be like that, like a meatball. Alright? Meatball. So just for the shits and giggles of it, I'm going to get some corn flour and some wheat flour. I'm going to mix them together. Corn flour. Wheat flour. Now I'm not measuring because I'm just dusting it, so it doesn't matter. There's nothing to measure. You take your meatball like that, throw it in the flour like that, so you have this mixture. This is, by the way, how you make cornbread here in Mexico. You can make cornbread out of shit. Oh, that is so beautiful. Look at that. And I'm gonna keep on going. I'm just gonna make one after another. If the texture gets weird, add some more milk to it. It's not a big deal. If you want to put more than one mushroom, because if you want to make these big, for big guys, make them bigger. Not a big deal. You definitely want to have these perfect, cooking them up like that. You don't want to have them sticking out because they'll have a flat tire. You don't want to do that. You want it to be packed. You want it to be nice and compact like this. Throw that in your flour. Roll around. Now some people have said they do this and they let these things rest for a while. I don't know what that does. I'm not doing that today. I'm just making these like little baby hamburgers. So I'm just gonna throw them in there. Look at that, man. It actually smells like beef tallow. It's so fresh, guys. They literally just melted this shit down for us at the butcher shop. Crazy, huh? And it costs like $3 for a liter. That's a kilogram of beef tallow. I don't know what beef tallow costs where you are, but that shit is expensive. And beef broth, I found out it's like bone broth. It's like $11 for a liter, and we get it every morning at the taco place that's across the street that makes a beef stew, like a bone broth, every single day. It's a beef thing. It is so good. It is so cheap, and we have such a good time going there. They don't even realize how cheap it is and what it is they have. I mean, collagen. If you drink bone broth every day, your face will start to get clear. Like, I literally just started because people were saying, your face is starting to look old. I go, well, it is a effect of being 51 years old, but I don't have a problem with that. All right, let's take this. Put it back in there. No, the reason why I mixed the two flours together because they have different textures. I used to own pizzerias, and we used to mix different flours together to get a certain texture for the pizza crust, so it would be soft on the inside and crunchy on the outside. Did you guys know that at one time I had the pizzeria with the largest pizza in South America? It measured 120 inches. It was rectangular, but I wanted to do it. And I named all the pizza sizes after my dogs. It was Terra and Mega. Those were the two sizes. Those are also the names of my two dogs. Terra, if you guys don't know the difference in measurement or physics, a Terra is the size of, let's say Mega first. Mega is smaller. Mega is like the size of a mountain. And in comparison to a mountain, a Terra would be the size of a planet. So that's the difference. So I had two different sized pizzas. One was really big and one was really, really big. So it was a cool idea and no one had ever done it before. And it was just the kids' pizza place where you bring your kids to go have birthday parties and stuff like Chuck E. Cheese. So I figured there's a ton of other pizza places around town. How can we make ourselves different? I said, well, why don't we do this? Why don't we make the biggest pizzas in the whole country, if not the whole continent? So I figured out who had the biggest pizzas, and I beat them by about 4 inches or whatever. And it was just for fun. I wasn't planning on making any enemies with pizza. So I got some experience with making food and stuff. So because when you're poor and you can't afford to go out and, you know what I mean, you do like the locals do. If you want to live overseas on the cheap, don't spend all your money on bullshit. Instead, buy food, get a gym membership, meet a nice girl that likes to cook with you, and play house. Play house, you guys. This is good for you. This is actually great for relationships, because I'm not just making this for me. I'm making this for my girl too, who's also training just like I am every day. Oh, by the way, I have a bodybuilding show coming up on the 1st of September. That's not very much time to get ready. But as you can see, I'm doing what I do as far as food prep. So one by one, each one of these, by the way, guys, you have to measure how much fat, how much carbohydrate, and how much protein you have in each one. Because you're going to eat one of these every 3 hours. That's it. You're going to think that's not a lot, it's not a lot of food, but when you're prepping for a bodybuilding show, this shit right here is delicious. Because when you cut out all starches and flour and breads and pastas and everything else, the only thing you're allowed to eat is tilapia and asparagus and sweet potatoes. And right now, sweet potatoes are not in season down here in Mexico. So it's mushroom season. So I'm going to make mushrooms because mushrooms are good for you. They're ergogenic. And this was the whole point, because I was hungry and I said, you know what? This is such a good recipe and it's so easy for bodybuilders to do. Any idiot could do this recipe. You mix ground beef with dried ground bread. Now you take your mushrooms and ball them up. And I'm balling like that. Make sure they're good so they don't fall apart, because these are like little miniature hamburgers. And you wouldn't want your girl to sit down and take a bite of a fucking hamburger and the shit falls apart. Hell no. And as you can see, these are getting, oh yeah, look at that. Great. Nice and fluffy. And that's all ground beef, you guys. Ground beef and mushrooms. Going into beef tallow with bacon. That's what's up. Alright. I got a lot of bacon left over and I got a lot of mushrooms left over. So I'm going to make 2 more. Kind of small ones. But how many do you want? How many do you want? I can make you one. Come on down. I'm making one right now. Because they're so good, they make you slap your mama. Now you can eat these with salsas or like ranch dressing, but we're bodybuilding, we're show prepping, so you're going to use something else. Hot sauce has no calories in it, and you can eat as much as you want. It doesn't affect your blood sugar. That's what you want to work on. You're going to make sure that anything you eat doesn't make you sleepy, doesn't spike your insulin, because that'll make you look soft, and we're trying to harden up. And these are the last meals that I have that have carbs in them for the next few weeks, like the next 2 months. The carbs are going to be basically like mushrooms, asparagus, sweet potatoes. I am going to fuck up some bananas just because I'm doing a prep, but I'm doing it differently than I used to do in the past, where I got as skinny as possible. Now I'm going to get as big as possible and see how heavy I can get eating this way, because it's a different route. Oh, I took shit. Good thing that wasn't full of hot grease. Would have messed me up good. Alright. So I'm just powdering that up. So good, you guys. This is so delicious. And then you're going to take all those, once they're fried all the way through, now let them do their thing, because that's what we do. I gotta wash my hands because that's just disgusting. Now, in Mexico, people don't use paper towels. Kind of like me and washcloths. Don't use them. Alright, let's take a look and see how our bad boys are doing. Oh yeah, cooking away. Now you saw how much fat I put in this? It doesn't even go halfway on these bad boys. You gotta be careful though when you flip them over, because they might be Yeah. No, I didn't put enough in here to deep fry them, really. So this is just like surface fried. But I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure how much of that stuff I was going to need. But definitely beautiful. They should come out exactly as a picture. If they're not, well, you can't see or read. Ingredients: 2 eggs, cup of milk, half a cup, quarter cup of flour, white flour, quarter cup of corn flour, which, by the way, this is all Mexican ingredients, so these don't have GMOs. So if you're worried about that, Mexico does not have GMOs. I don't give a fuck how much you dislike Mexico or like to make fun of it. Mexico does not allow GMOs into its country. But they use pesticides. Bitch, have you looked at the food your country fucking produces? It's so fucked up that foreigners won't even eat there. And people are leaving the country to get better food. I know motherfuckers that pass from San Diego to go to Mexico for the whole day just to eat. And turn around and go back to San Diego to live or work. Would you look at that bacon, you guys? Look at that. Crazy. So we'll close this up. Let that do its thing. Now, if you want to get big, you have to calculate your food. Mushrooms don't have any calories. So if you decide you want to fucking deep fry them, make sure you do it in beef tallow so at least you get the benefits of the fat. You're going to use whole milk. Mushrooms, organic. Not wrapped in plastic. If you can get them at the farmer's market where you buy them by the pound, I bought a half a pound here. That's what this is. It's a half pound of mushrooms. Quarter cup of flour. Cup of this. 2 eggs. And I didn't use any seasoning. Because it has garlic. And I'm not sure just how potent, when you fry these things, just how potent the garlic is. What's happening over here, you guys? Oh, yeah. It's early, and I know I should have made you eggs and bacon, but I just made bacon. But I did put eggs into these fried mushroom thingies, so you want a couple of those instead? I'll make you a couple. So take a look. That's what's up. It's all bacon, ground beef, and mushrooms. And that's how you do it. You let them cook. Don't touch them. Don't fuck with them. Don't mess with them. Just let them do what they're supposed to do. Okay? When I'm all finished, I'm going to take a nice big picture and use that as a thumbnail. And I'm going to put the recipe in the comments so you guys can watch. Okay? Appreciate you tuning in to watch me cook. I realize it's a little different than what you're used to me doing. But hey, if you want to get huge, go get huge with me. Come on, it's Sunday. Tomorrow you should go to the gym with me. We're going to eat. I'm going to show you all the supplements you need to take to get huge. I'm going to show you the foods I'm going to eat. I'm going to show you the exercise I do, but not in the gym. And you just copy what I do. And if it works, I say, what's up? I want to see you get huge together. What's up? I'm the professor, and I'm out.